All right, what's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Old school parenting versus new school parenting. People view old school parenting as abuse because they feel parents were abusive back in the day. Now, me personally, I was raised by my grandparents, but I was raised by my parents also. But the heavier influence came from my grandparents, who were old school. My parents were in the middle. They were tweeners. They were old sometimes, new sometimes. But and I see some of my peers who are parents. Some of them old school, some of them new school. Well, here's the thing. Old school parents fell under the mantra of we have to prepare you for the entirety of life. That's an act of love. I can't just let you go out into the world naive, not respecting people, not respecting boundaries, not understanding the concept of karma and consequences, not understanding that, you know, regular Newton's law, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. And discipline was part of that, i.e., weapons. That was part of that. You had to know that if you did something, you wasn't going to get away. New school parenting is considered non-abusive, but the ramifications of it will go too far because kids lash out because they have no discipline. They have less discipline. I won't say no, less discipline, less respect for boundaries, less respect for karma, less respect for humanity in itself, because they can go about doing. Their parents have allowed them to go do things, and instead of having them face the consequences, they step in the middle and take the brunt of the problems. That's why getting to like when people say you didn't hear kids back in the day shooting up schools and having mental issues. You get what I'm saying? There was no mental issues back then because the old school parent thinks just like this. If my child has mental issues, if my child is schizophrenic, if my child is bipolar, if my child is manic depressant, if my child is just a rageaholic, and I am not gonna have my assault rifles, shotguns, handguns, uh, explosives, extended magazines and bullets all in a place where they can reach them and just walk out with them. That's bad parenting because that falls on the parent, because if you know your kid's messed up, why did you make all of these things readily available? The army don't even let crazy people go out with weaponry like that. You get what I'm saying? So nobody believes these kids have mental issues. They think they have bad parents. Now, another thing that goes into that is this. Just because you don't whip a kid doesn't mean you care about a kid. You see, as a matter of fact, sometimes it works adversely because what you're doing is you're not allowing them to pay for their actions. So what they do is something that exceeds that. Well, and that's why um, you see people constantly getting in trouble because they constantly keep getting a slap on the wrist, and people start to hate them more and more and more. If Because how many times are you gonna get away with this? Because what happens is in life, if you go out in the world and you do something and people keep covering it up and covering it up and covering it up and covering it up, that's where you get the Lindsay Lohans of the world, who people get tired of, or the Justin Biebers or the George Zimmermans, because they keep getting away with shit. And eventually somebody's that sees them across their path is going to automatically say, you know what, if they do something to me, they just going to get a slap on the wrist. So I might as well take them out. And those are the people who normally get in trouble. You know, Back in the day, old school parents said, look, you got to stand up for yourself. Don't get bullied. Now, we allow kids to get bullied, but we protect the bullies. See, when kids beat up bullies nowadays, oh, you're so violent. Why did you do that? This kid got a history of beating up people for no reason. That's their problem. That's not your problem. It is my problem when they coming to me. But people don't look at it like that. See, new school parents have a tendency to not care at all about their kids because they don't prepare them for life. You know, Old school parents was on the same mantra. You 18, you grown, you got to go. New school parents, you grown, you 18, you got to go. Difference is, when they was grown at 18 with old school parents, you were ready for life. When you grown at 18 with new school parents, you basically learning how to be an adult from 18 on, and your parents like, I gave you shoes, food, shelter. You gave the pet chihuahua shoes, food, and shelter nowadays. That don't mean shit. I don't know nothing. See, the other kids knew how to, they knew how to have skills. That's what the fixing cars come. That's what the understanding consequences come. That's when this came about. See, an old school parent, if you did something wrong, say you stole something or broke something, they'll discipline you. They would also take you to the person you stole from or broke something from and make you work off the debt. New school parents are just, we're sorry, and they leave you stuck with the bag. That's why we have a society that walks out messing up other people's lives and possessions and thinks nothing of it because it doesn't affect them personally. And then when you keep going knocking on the devil's door, and when the devil answers you, then you're shocked. Old school parents didn't allow that. You can't go around picking fights, cussing people out, being disrespectful, stealing, having hit and run accidents, drinking and driving, shooting up schools, and say, I suffer from affluenza, nobody told me anything. Bullshit, because what happens is you meet people who are like myself who might just make you understand. And I might just be on TV like, so? I'm going to tell you this story real quick before I go. There was a kid who kept jumping my back fence because he didn't want to miss the bus. He thought it was cool. I got off work one day. He jumped my back fence. It was nighttime. I almost shot him. I walk outside and say, hey, look, don't do that no more. He said, okay. I said, all right. Woke up in the morning, he jumped my fence again. I said, kid, let me explain something to you. If you're really in a rush sometimes, every now and then, I get it. But if you keep jumping my fence, I swear to God, because I didn't tell him I was going to shoot him the first time when he hopped the fence. I said, I swear to God, you're going to get shot like that. God almost killed you the other day. Okay, whatever, dude, okay. I said, this motherfucker don't listen. So the very next morning, I got up before I went to work. I sat in my backyard. So watch this dumb motherfucker hop the gate. What did he do? Hop the gate. What did I do? Pull my gun out. I said, you see this shit right here? This how you gonna get shot. I get it. I said, you don't get it. The next time you do this shit, I'm gonna rock salt your ass. You gonna really get it, cause I ain't gonna kill you, but you gonna feel this shit. And he's like, okay. That's when he got it, right? But here's the problem. He had to hop 2 gates to get to mine. The lady's house behind me, he destroyed her gate. Broke mine too. I had to fix mine at times. His parents never came over here. His parents never said sorry to my neighbor to my neighbor behind me. He's just a kid doing things. And here's the problem. See, kids like that are kids who break and entering because they're used to going on other people's property, just doing whatever they want. And then those are the kids who get a bullet in their fucking head because their parents didn't tell them, hey, don't do shit like that. You don't know who you're messing with, but it's okay because they new school parents. Go take a time out. It's okay. And I know the new school parents because I know the kid. He was playing with his family when he broke the other lady's gate. He just walked off. She ain't home, so let's just go. I said, you know what? When this little kid grow up, he gonna be a dead man. That's the difference between old school parenting and new school parenting. Because when I was a kid, and yes, I'm from the hood, we knew good and hell well, don't hop on other people's property. Don't go where you're not welcome. Don't don't put the perception out there that you're doing something sneaky. You better go knock on somebody's front door before you hop somebody's back fence, because if you knock on their front door, they know you're coming. If you jump over their back fence, they think you're coming to steal. I'm just saying. This is why things get real.